So we did last time out, we did the offense. This time out, we will do the defense. So at edge, I was really tempted. I really wanted to go with 4. And I wanted to go skinny at edge and defensive tackle because last year they kept 5 on the edge. I have kept 5. They kept 6 at defensive tackle, which is a lot to me. I did keep 6. I would love to go a little skinnier there. I don't think they can afford to do that at edge with Harold Landry's durability and also that Gabe Akis. We don't know what his status is. No, I'm not worried about him not being around or he hasn't been there, his contract, blah, blah, blah. It'll get sorted out. It always does. And unless you were, which I've said before, unless you were hoping, you had some sort of hope that he was going to be this impact guy this year. I mean, I just don't think that was in the cards. That's not ever reality. He is, as I've said before, he is battling guys like Braden Swinson and Quintavious Hutchins to be the 4th edge rusher. I kept 5. Landry, Draymond Jones, Elijah Ponder, Gabe Akis. Those guys are all definitely on the roster. Then I have Braden Swinson, who I'm not crazy about, but he definitely has improved this year from where he was last year. I haven't seen much from Quintavious Hutchins. He has the off-field issue as well. I have him cut. I don't know what his future is. He was a late round pick. I would say right now it's Swinson and Hutchins for the 5th spot. They could be looking maybe to bring somebody in. That could be a place where they look for a waiver claim and a guy like Swinson makes it initially, or Hutchins, but then they claim somebody in there, released and signed to the practice squad. At defensive tackle, I have Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, Corey Durden, Leonard Taylor, Josh Farmer. I would say those 5 are locked in. The 6th spot, and I don't think they need 6 spots, especially with Draymond Jones has inside versatility. But Eric Gregory has it right now over Jeremiah Farms, Travis Shaw, David Blay. I would say my most controversial position would be off the ball linebacker, where you last year they had 4. I have 4. If you go lighter at edge or defensive tackle, this is where I would pick up a spot, which I would really like to do. But right now I have Robert Spillane, Christian Ellis. Obviously, they are the starters. Making the teams, I have 2 rookies, draft pick Nnamdi Obiizor, and undrafted free agent Khalil Jacobs. I liked what I saw out of him in camp. I think he can cover. I think he's got some quickness. I have him over Chad Muma, which might be a little bit of a surprise to some people, and Otis Reese. And I have the Patriots trading free agent signee KJ Britt. Again, I would like to keep 5 here, and I want to keep Britt as sort of the veteran guy. But if push comes to shove, I would rather go with the younger guys, provided they show over the course of camp in the preseason that they are ready to go. But I think they need to get younger and quicker at the position, get ready to replace Spillane and Ellis in the next couple of years. And I think Jacobs and Obiizor have a chance to do that. I think they would get claimed in other pieces. I think Chad Muma is a guy that you could get to the practice squad, see what happens. And KJ Britt, I just don't know much about him, and it has nothing to do with KJ Britt. It just has to do with I want to get younger and faster, and I think you can do that with Jacobs and Obiizor. But again, Britt would be the 5th guy for me if they do go a little bit skinnier at edge or defensive tackle. Cornerback, I do not have Christian Gonzalez being traded. Christian, if you're still listening, I think he's too good. I think they can figure out a way to give him a raise for this year. And I talked about his contract in the last one. There's a way to do this with an extension. And it's the big question for me with his contract is, does he want a new contract like now, where he's getting paid $30 million a year? If that's where he's going, I'm probably not interested, and I'm more interested in a trade. But if he wants most of his big money a year from now, that's sort of the majority of cornerbacks. That's how it goes. I'm interested in that. But Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, we all know those. Kindle Vildor, Charles Woods, and Karan Prunty, the draft pick. I think there's a lot. Cornerback is a good group. I think there's going to be a heavy competition beyond the third spot from 4 to 6 on who you have. Marcellus Dial coming back from injury. You have 2 undrafted free agents, Kenneth Harris, Channing Canada. You have Kobe Minor, who was a draft pick a year ago, who, they like. Brandon Crossley. All those guys have a chance to make the roster. I would say that it's wide open down there. Safety is a lot more clear cut between, Bayard, Woodson, Mike Brown, Del Pettis. John Saunders is the one cut at the position. Could he get ahead of Del Pettis? It's possible, I guess. But I think Del Pettis he's proven to be a good, solid player, good special teams player. And on special teams, I have no changes, including keeping Brendan Schooler. So, not a whole lot of changes. Again, I would say that it's coming down to the things I'm curious about: numbers games, at how many at edge and defensive tackle. Patriots like their defensive line. I mean, they used like everybody last year when it came down to it. And also, how many do you keep at linebacker, and how young do you want to get behind 2 veterans in Spillane and Ellis? So that's sort of where I am. It's a scorching sports summer, and you can make all your picks on Prize Picks. The WNBA and baseball are heating up, and with big tennis slams and major golf tournaments on the horizon, there's one in England next week. You can make your picks for all these events and more all summer long on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. I think I've been into big time into soccer this summer with Prize Picks. They've been offering everything from group stage winners to goals scored. I'm excited to watch the big stars from countries like Argentina, Brazil, France, and the U.S. and win money while doing it. What's cool is I can stack game winners from soccer, NBA, the W, and baseball on top of my player picks for even bigger payouts. So now there's even more ways to play and win big. When I get my picks right, I can make all my picks in the same app with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Prize Picks are available in 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. The entire summer of soccer is on Prize Picks, all 48 countries in every matchup. And it's been great stuff. I'm disgruntled that they did not show replay of the possible handball on France before their first goal from Mbappe. And looking forward to Belgium and Spain today. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks,